So this is why quitting porn is not mandatory and what you can do if you want to quit it. So today we are going to cover 9 topics. What should be the actual reason to quit porn? Why your body wants to fap? How to convince your body that we are better off fapping? You have abundance of energy, circumstances considered by your body. Think sex is better. Make your body identify different circumstances. Actionable step and lastly, working on correctly aligned circumstances. So you might not understand what few things are about, but you will eventually as we go further into the video. So what should be the actual reason for you to quit porn? So you are stop fapping because now you have things to do. This should be the reason to quit porn. But most people have the reason that they want to stop fapping because they later want to pursue business, get good attention from women, and they think that things will start going up after they quit fapping. But that's not actually the case. You will only get the biological psychological benefits which will need to be worked to be turned into actual things you want, that is money, woman status. The first you have to get better things to do, then after it will make sense for you to quit. And so most people essentially you have to focus on better things, you have to focus on building up yourself. You you don't have to first quit porn and then you go pursue and then you go pursue date and then you don't first quit porn and then start dating or then start business. You first start dating and or business and then you stop fapping because then you have better things to do. Because if you don't have anything and that will create if you don't have anything if you don't have anything purposeful to do, then it will create a weird dynamic between you and masturbation, which will lead, which will just lead to you being stuck in the rut. So, so understand this concept. So most people, so other, so some people may not understand this, but for those who can, but those who, but those who, but those who will understand, those who will understand have very good intellect. So your consciousness and your body are in complementary relationship. So let's define your consciousness and your body. So the way it works is that your consciousness and your mind are two different things. They are both attached to each other. Your consciousness prioritizes your spirit, and your brain prioritizes your body. So your brain does, no, so your brain makes so brain makes decision to make sure that your body survives. To make sure, so your brain So your brain makes decisions to make sure that your body survives and reproduces, and your consciousness makes decisions to to keep your spirit healthy, yes, to keep your soul healthy, and they both have to serve each other. And because they both take a part in making a decision, no illogical decision or decision which isn't of mutual influence will be taken without harm. For example, masturbating. So masturbating serves your body because so for example masturbating serves your body because when you masturbate your body thinks you are having because when you masturbate your body thinks you are reproducing, and so you don't have to work much harder to get the woman because you got the woman because you masturbated now. So for example with masturbating, when masturbating serves masturbating masturbating serves your body because when you masturbate your body. So for example masturbating for example, masturbating. When you masturbate, it serves. So when you masturbate, it serves your body because what your body thinks is that you have got the woman, you reproduce, and the reproduction part is done. Yeah, what your body thinks, you got the woman, you reproduce, and it has taken very less energy. So it's more efficient to masturbate. So it's more efficient to masturbate than to have real sex because you don't waste much energy. So it serves your body, but because it's not because so so it serves your body. So it serves your body, but even though it is what your body thinks it's even though your body thinks it's good, it's actually not good. And your body actually thinks it's not good. So you can't just tell your body. So because your body thinks it's good for you, you can't just tell your body not fab ever again. That's literally one of its most primary functions. Why would your body sacrifice it? So why would your body not fab for entirety? Why? Because you tell your body you can't reproduce now. It doesn't make sense for your body to accept that because it's one of the primary it's one of the primary objective and one of the primary function of it. So what do you do is so the logic of our solution is that you will have to make it interest of the body. Your body will function and work better with the fapping, but it won't ever take decision of not fapping. So you also have to make sure it's of the body because fapping and because not fapping for few days, weeks, and months to achieve one goal is great, but not fapping for the entire life is not so great. So how do we convince our body that we are better off not fapping? So what does fapping primarily mean to our body? Reproduction. So our what does fapping primarily mean to our body? Reproduction and abundance of pussy. So let me tell you why it means abundance of pussy. It's because and why your body. So let me tell you why your body thinks it's an abundance of pussy and why your brain decides to act upon it. So in the primary ages when an alpha dies, the beta males get when in primary in in primary ages when an alpha dies and all his all his wives are at home. Whenever an beta or any male enters or any male finds his house and enters it, he sees the woman and sees it as an opportunity to impregnate them all. So basically, whenever an alpha dies, anyone who comes across his house gets to fuck all of his women. So we are now used to having abundance of pussy every once in a while. So we have turned it into we have turned it into an we have turned that into a mechanism. So we have turned it into a mechanism that whenever our body sees so many naked girls out, we actually think it's the moment that an alpha died and we have came across his home. And then because of that our body will try to push ourselves and impregnate all of them. and that's why we don't feel like stopping. So, so here's the but the thing is, why does our body, why does sorry, spelling mistake. Why does our body choose to vape instead of pursuing real woman and real sex? But why it's okay. So why does but why does our body chooses to vape instead of pursuing real woman and real sex? So our body values everything in terms of energy. So you can pretty much evaluate it. Why does our body values okay? But why does body chooses to vape instead of pursuing real woman and real sex? So body values everything in terms of energy. So imagine so if you think about it, you can pretty much evaluate almost anything in energy, like how much energy it has taken to build it, uh, how much, so like how much energy it has taken to build, and we and we can also and we can also what do you- and we can also do the same with action, like how much energy an action will take to do, how many action and tasks will take to complete. So 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 because of it, yeah. So, okay, so now you understand it. Now, imagine that your body has given two choice: pursue woman and real sex, cost of energy very high, masturbate and get abundance of pussy, cost of energy very low. So that's how your body sees this. You can so what your body sees is the body can have a real woman and real sex with cost of high energy versus masturbate and get abundance of pussy, where in high energy, well, in the higher energy option, it only gets one. So this is one of the. So this is why our body chooses to masturbate. So let's see how we can convince it. So, fixing it is easier than it looks, but not that easy. So you basically have abundance of energy. So you basically have abundance of energy. So energy comes from food. We didn't have much food in primeval times, but now we have as much as you want. So the reason why our body tries to find the reason why our bodies determines how much energy a task will take is because in the primeval times, which was the longest time in our history, we didn't have abundance of food. We had to get up daily, hunt, and then we come back with food. So our body is used to limited energy. But now, basically, have unlimited food. Our body still thinks that we don't have abundance of energy. Then we must let it know. So now we have abundance of food. It also means we have abundance of energy, because we can essentially get because if you're watching this video, you basically you basically don't sleep hungry. You can eat it as much you want, and you're probably also fat, so you're overeating. But most probably you don't have scarcity of food. So everything is done by our body is done because it reacts to specific circumstances, and your body feels that it is the right thing to do. So everything done by the body is done because just detected a circumstance. So, for example, if you see a lion and you run, it's because you detected a lion up. You detected a threat. You detected a threat, and because and then adrenaline kicked in, and you started to, and you ran. So your boy first detected the lion, and then the rest of the actions were taken by body. So and and the actions which were taken by your body also felt also felt best to you at the time. For when you see a lion, kicking into adrenaline and running was the best thing to do because you can't fight. Because if you fought the lion, you will win. So now is so we can say the cause of the decisions are certain. Are the cause of the decisions are certain circumstances detected by a body. So if your body detected correctly, there is no problem. And if there is then cause of it is the incorrect detection of circumstance done by a body. So what does this basically mean is, so let's say your body has detected a lion and it decided to run. So the end result was running away from the tiger. So running away is the right choice because you can't fight the lion. And but let's say if your body decided to just stand there and freeze, not do anything, and learn and shout at let's say your boy decided to just stand there, not do anything, then that's a wrong action. You shouldn't have done that, and that action happened because your boy detected something differently. Your boy didn't had the normal reaction because your body didn't had the normal reaction to it because it also didn't have the normal identification of normal because it also didn't identify circumstance correctly. So your body, so your body didn't, so your body under didn't take the right decision because it identified the wrong thing. It didn't. The thing which it identified was not actually the problem. Your body has identified something else. So your body has identified something else. So your body has, and so your body identifies something else than what the actual case of. In in the example of masturbation is that your body thought that the pixels on the screen were actual women and you are having sex with them. That's what your body that's what your body thought. So your body identified circumstance incorrectly. And that is the reason the result of that was the reason that the reaction of that circumstance was incorrect. So you must identify the circumstances which you consider when your body made this decision. In fact, if identify all of them, that is guaranteed that you could perform. I will identify four for you. So if your body identifies current circumstance, then there is no problem. For example, if you are going to have sex with a woman and if your body detected that you are going to have sex, then you will get hard. Then you will get how your body will start preparing for sex, and you'll have a good time. There is no problem. But when the problem comes is that your body can't tell that your body can't identify that you are going to have sex because then your body will not prepare for sex. So that's when the problem comes. So if your body identifies correctly, then there is no problem. Problem comes is when your body identifies incorrectly. So if you want to fix the incorrectly identified circumstance, you first have to identify them. Once you identify all of them and work on them, you will good point. So I have identified uh, four circumstances for you. Let's move on then. So these are the four circumstances which I have identified for you. So these are the four circumstances I have identified for you. First is energy. Masturbation is already easier and it's also less energy consuming as compared to actual sex. So we know that. So I think from the first slide you already know that your body. So I think from the first slide you already know that your body considers energy. And your body considers how much energy it takes, and masturbation is a lot less energy consuming than sex. That's the first thing. But what your body identifies incorrectly is that we have limited energy, but we practically have unlimited energy because we can eat as much we want. Second, resistance. Comparing the resistance between you and masturbation versus you and sex. You and sex has a lot more resistance than masturbation. What does this mean is that if you're sitting at your home right now, then it will take probably 5 minutes for you to prepare. It will take 5 minutes. So what does this mean? Let's say if you're sitting at your home, then it will take. If you're sitting at your home, then it will probably take 5 minutes for you to get everything ready and start jerking off. But if you want to have real sex with a woman, then even if you have a girlfriend, it will probably take like 2 hours. Or not if she doesn't live with you. If you live with you, it will even take like 30 minutes or so. And so let's say if you are sitting in resistance, what does this mean is that what does this mean is that even if you are sitting at home and then it will probably take like 5 minutes for you to get everything ready and start jerking off. But if you compare it to real sex, most of you don't even have girlfriend, and for those who have, they might have some other problems like they're wait they're waiting till a certain age, they're waiting till marriage, etc. And the few who actually can have sex, uh, they don't have this issue, this resistance problem. But the other people who can't have sex have this resistance problem. So let's move on to abundance. So we're used to having sex. Uh, so we are used to having sex with too many women every once in a while because when the alpha dies, all of his wives get fucked by whoever find them. Therefore, we are already always ready for abundance of pussy, and we see it in masturbation because we get exposed to too many naked girls, whereas in real sex, we only get exposed to one naked girl. So I've explained I've explained it previously in video that whenever an alpha dies, whoever finds his girls get to fuck them, and because of that, our body is always ready to fuck too many women at once. And whenever a body detects this, and a body thinks that the nudity and my body thinks the nudity we are exposed to online is the same scenario. And so the last is composition. So this kind of sort of builds the addiction, the resistance. This is your current position. If you're someone who can fuck right now, then you'll never have porn addiction, which is obvious. But working on getting closer to it will help. So if you can have sex right now, I don't know why you would have porn addiction. It's because if you have sex, you can just try it. Because if you can have sex and your woman is understanding, then you can just get in bed and see if you because listen, if you can have sex right now, then and your woman is understanding. Sorry, if you have sex right now, then I don't, it doesn't make sense for you to have porn addiction. And even if you have try to have sex when you you try to have sex when you get the urge to masturbate, and at that point you'll probably not get hard because the way your brain has got wired. But the failures in sex will rewire your brain into having real sex. But if you're someone who can't have sex right now, then work on getting closer to it. It will help. So there are a few things which sex you better than masturbation. We have because the previous slides we talked about things which masturbation does better than sex. So here is things which sex does better than masturbation. So first is quality. We have better one time having sex than masturbate. Second is emotional connection. This doesn't occur if you are this doesn't occur if you are having one night stand or if you're one. Second, emotional connection. So this doesn't occur if you are having hookups, one night stand, if you are having sex with prostitutes, etc. You won't feel that much. It won't feel it much. The quality will already reduce a bit, but still the quality will be better than masturbation. And emotional connection will not feel much more, but um, emotional connection will not be as good at having sex with someone you love. And lastly, reproduction. It is self-explanatory. So, how do you make our body identify the circumstance? So uh, we now know. So now I will take an example of few circumstances which our body identifies incorrectly. So now let's see how do we make our body identify the actual circumstances. So it comes down to biological stimulus as well as psychological. So, so it comes down to biological stimulus and psychological. So first step. So what does this mean is so what does this mean is I took I gave an example of a line that if you spot a line, you see it with your eyes, you are that's a biological stimulus, but you identify it as a threat, that it is a psychological stimulus. So it comes down to biological and psychological stimulus on how our body identifies circumstances. So first step will be to list out circumstances we want body to identify. First is more energy, that we have more energy than we actually think. Second is closer to have real sense that, and third is we have abundance. Third, abundance of pussy. Uh, abundance of pussy. And third is abundance of pussy. So what does a pussy? What does this mean is that there are too many that there are many girls in real life. We don't. If one rejects us, it doesn't mean that we would never get laid again. It basically means fear, remove the fear of rejection, something like that. It kind of relates to, but you get the point. Okay. So for wrongly identified circumstances, your general can find out these five things. Why did our body incorrectly identify the respective circumstance? What are past actions were responsible for it? What are past actions were cause of it? What would be the alternative? Identify circumstance. What change in action will come after? What change will come after our body identify the correct circumstances? So you have to general and find out these things. So you should first know what are the wrongly identified circumstances. Okay. So how do you make our body identify different circumstances? For most correctly, for the most correctly identified circumstance, like too much resistance is getting sex, which is no bitches. We will have to work on that, and it will be fixed eventually. So, for example, if your body identified that you don't have access to sex, and that's true, then there's no coping in that. You can't cope up like in the example of you can't cope the same way you cope in the example of energy that your body thinks that it has less energy. But okay, so here's the thing. So in the example of an energy, your body thinks that it doesn't has if your body thinks so your body so here's the thing. What does this mean is that uh, so here's the thing about this part is uh, your body thinks that you don't have abundance of energy, and your body thinks that you have very limited energy, and but we know there's faults, and we cope up with that. Not exactly cope up with, but we make our body identify that we have as much energy as we want. So we don't have to do any real work to fix it. We only have to do psychological work to fix it. But you can't fix it this with this psychological work. You have to fix it with real work because this is a real problem which you have. Therefore, we shouldn't focus on those much for now as they will create effect in long term, and working on incorrectly ahead with the circumstance will bring drastic change. So for the long term, so these are the things which will be fixed in long term, and so we only have to focus. So for now, we only focus on doing the actual work, and it will it will be fixed by itself in long term. So this is I read about. So this is so I have answered this question in short to give you an example. So why did our body incorrectly identify this respective circumstance? Because we tend to see energy for survival, and we brain that model human didn't work on brain to change it. So so we have been used to we have been used to having limited energy, and so we have been used to having limited energy, and now we don't have. So we are used to saving energy, and we are used to saving energy because in the primary times we had limited food, but now we don't have that problem. We have basically have as much food as we want, and we brain that modern humans didn't work on our brain to change it. So that's the answer one. And so question two: what are past actions for responsibility? Answer two is as answer one. I could have changed it, but I never focused on it before. So the reason why it's still a problem, or the actions which so the action responsible for it that was that I didn't took any action to change. To, I didn't took any action to change. Question three: what are past actions were cause of it? Answer three: majority because I was trying to conserve energy in most of them. So what does this mean is that if you look at your life, most lazy people, if you're lazy and if you look at your life, you do things to save as much energy as possible. Most of your actions are done to save as much energy as possible. So I had so I've written it here. I so I've written it here majority because I was trying to conserve energy most of them. So what would be the alternative to identify circumstances? So that will influence energy because we have as much food as we want. Fifth, what change in our action will come after make our body identify different circumstances? Our actions will be optimized for max gain, not less energy consumption. So just like I have written it in short, you can write the answers to the question in 5 or 6 lines or in 10 lines. So here's an example step. General about incorrectly identified circumstance and answer just 5 questions in 24 hours from now if you actually want to stop failing. So there's an external stamp due to if you're actually serious about quitting porn addiction. So let's other circumstances like we let's fix other circumstances that teach you problems that you can't get laid. So 90% of other circumstances were there because of one problem. You have nothing significant in your life. So for example, you can't get laid. What one thing you have done that most of the people haven't done and other people will be amazed at. Most of you don't most of you won't have any answer to this question. So 90% of the circumstances were there because of one problem. You have done nothing significant in your life. So 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 the correctly identified circumstances about related to fapping are mostly like you can't get laid, you can't get laid, etc. You can't get laid, you don't know how to build social tension, etc. Mainly, we got so like you can't get so 90% of the problems were just there because you didn't put enough effort in your life. So if you can't get laid, that's because you have not built yourself to a point where girls will like you. So that's the reason. And so then 90% of problems were just because you have not done your work. So indirectly or directly, for the purpose of getting or for the purpose of achieving your dream life, you have to start working and start stacking achievement. The stacking achievement will give you the feeling that you are something, and you will need it to fix the problems like you feel you feel low status, uh, you feel you're not worth it, or any other problem right related to self-worth, self or self-image will be fixed by checking achievement. So there are no exact answers here, like you might seen in the previous slides, but you will start making the progress on other things in life. There's free ebook in, or so there is free ebook on porn addiction in description. Check it out.